Today is August 10th, Saturday. It's our 31st day on the road, but 25th day on our adventure. And we always read this, either the Spirit of Prophecy or I read Sapphires in the morning. But today I read in my book that I have, it's called A Year with Jesus. I thought it was really good, so I wanted to share it with you. It's called Grateful Love. And it's from Luke 7:36 through 43. A Pharisee invited Jesus to have dinner with him. So Jesus went to the Pharisee's home and got ready to eat. When a sinful woman in that town found out that Jesus was there, she bought an expensive bottle of perfume. Then she came and stood behind Jesus. She cried and started washing his feet with her tears and drying them with her hair. The woman kissed his feet and poured the perfume on them. The Pharisee who had invited Jesus saw this and said to himself, "If this man really were a prophet, he would know what kind of woman this is that he is touching. He would know that she's a sinner." Jesus said to the Pharisee, "Simon, I have something to teach you." He said, "Simon, I have something to say to you." "Teacher, what is it?" Simon replied. Jesus told him, 2 people were in debt to a moneylender. One of them owed him 500 silver coins, and the other owed him 50. Since neither of them could pay him back, the moneylender said that they didn't have to pay him anything. "Which one of them would you like more?" Simon answered, "I suppose it would be the one who had owed him more and didn't have to pay it back." "You're right," Jesus said. So after I read that, I thought, I love the way that Jesus teaches in parables, instead of just telling them, why he's talking to the woman that, was perfuming his feet. And then the commentary says, "For Jesus, nothing ever happens by accident. Jesus knew that a disreputable woman would come to the party. He knew what she would do. He knew how the Pharisees named Simon would respond. In fact, Jesus was counting on it." And in that, before I go on, I thought it was really neat that he knows. He knows before we even do anything. He knows. Pharisees were one of the 4 major sects of Judaism in the 1st century, sort of like modern denominations within Christianity. The Pharisees were considered the progressive of their day. They believed that the Bible included all the books of the Old Testament, not just the 5 books of Moses. They believed in the angels, the demons, and Satan, and they believed in the resurrection of the dead. They took the Bible very seriously, and they believed it was critical for all people of Israel to obey the laws of God completely and consistently in order to avoid a repeat of God's judgment. When Simon saw a sinful woman touching Jesus, he was appalled. How could a prophet endure the presence, let alone the touch of such a human being? Jesus used the situation as an opportunity to instruct, and here's what's really cool when he says this. Jesus used the situation as an opportunity to instruct a well-intentioned but misguided individual about the wonder of God's love and forgiveness. I mean, think about that. So many of us we have great intentions. We love God. We want to do the best, but because of our upbringing or who knows what, we're misguided sometimes. And then it ends with, Simon took God for granted. Sometimes, like Simon, we need reminding about how great it is to have God's forgiveness. Then it will be easier for us to see worth in others and be more willing to forgive them ourselves. So the last thing I wanted to say is I just think it's so cool to follow God, because just things that happen, it might not always happen to everybody, but like last night, we were trying to find a place to boondock. And we pulled into this one place, which was beautiful. But I don't know, my spirit just got this eerie feeling. And then I saw a little dead calf, and I don't know. I just got this weird feeling. So me and Greg took off, and we were trying to find another place. And then we found this place, and the reason that I have it focused on this little flower is I just felt like God was saying to me, this is where you needed to be. I just felt like that flower was a way that God spoke to me to tell me that this was the perfect spot. And we had a great night. It was just cool, and I just thank him for that. And that's my commentary for the day. You want to say anything?
Yes, going back to the lesson that you read, that we may look down on someone and think we're better than someone or think they're not worthy. But if no matter how lowly they may be on this earth and no matter what they have done, if they accept Christ and are forgiven, their reward in heaven is as great as ours.
Yes. And I was thinking too, a lot of times we look at lowly people as, like, I'm not going to touch that beggar, I'm not going to hug that stinky person. But Jesus tells us in the Bible, and I don't know the exact words, but he says, you do unto them, you're doing to me. So if we could look at each person as a Jesus, because Jesus is inside of all of us, it's just whether somebody finds him or not. He's there, he knows us. If we could look at everybody that way, like that we're actually talking or touching Jesus, I think we'd treat people totally different. So have a great day, and we're still in Utah, heading to, do you think we'll be in Colorado today?
Yep.
I think we'll be in Colorado today. So we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks for following our journey.